welcome in everybody. We are on episode 16 of the Anime Source here, where we go over the top three animes and a manga to read as recommendations. If you're new to the channel, welcome in. Feel free to like and subscribe. Appreciate all the love and help that I can get for this. Kind of changed some things up here, added a little bit of a different kind of flow of how we do these reviews. But I am DC, I'm the host of this cool little show. Pretty much what we do here is that we just go in and just kind of go over three animes recommendations, go over the plot, and I'll kind of give my little touch and spin on it of what I think as well. So, and also a manga to read. So why not? I try to do these once a week to kind of give you guys more time and just a little bit easier of just understanding of like what we have here. But this week we're going to be going over sports animes. I know, right? A little different. It's hard to find some good sports animes. Sometimes they get a little too dark, or they just kind of stagger around and don't get anywhere. I do have one today that we're going to be going over that is new that just came out, which will be here towards one of our one of three anime reviews. One of them is a popular shonen that we all know about that maybe you have not watched that you want a little bit more clarity on. So we'll go over that as well. But we also go over the anime news. I give a little bit of a just a quick anime news rundown here so that you can just kind of see what's going on in the anime world or what's coming soon or, what's coming up here to watch. You never know. So, diving into the anime news, we do have Blue Lock season 2 is going to be coming back. Yes, Blue Lock. Those fans out there that love Blue Lock, that is going to be coming back here in, I think, October. Yeah, October of this year. So, we're going to get our second season. Another cool thing about it right now is that in June 28th, we're going to be having a movie for Blue Lock that's going to be that comes to North America here. So check your local theaters, see if they're going to be sponsoring it or having it there. But that's going to be here in the summertime of June 28th. I believe it is going to be like episode Nagi or something like that, but we are getting a movie for it in theaters. So pretty cool, pretty excited. I love watching animes at the big screen. A lot of fun. Sometimes you can pick up some cool merch there too that they're promoting that you get an exclusive shirt. Never know. But the next thing here is that Baki Hanma versus Kengan Ashura is going to be having it's already got its trailer. So if you guys want to check that out, the trailer's out. That's going to be promoting up here worldwide on June 6th. That is going to be a crossover to where Baki Hanma is going to be finding Kengan Ashura. If you watch Netflix, that has the show itself of Kengan Ashura and of course Baki as well. Both great aspects, both martial arts, both pretty grungy. Pretty excited. That's going to be coming June 6th. So mark your calendars. Pretty excited for that. And our next thing here on the anime news, which I kind of grabbed the plot because I was kind of unfamiliar with it. It's a Viz Media manga, I think, is getting an adaptation, and that is called Destroy All Humans. That can't be generated. And Magic, the Gathering manga launches in English this fall. So yeah, Viz is pushing this destroy all humans they can't regenerate. Sounded funny, so I was like, I'm gonna read the plot here. Um, seems like everything goes. Geeky Tokigawa, middle school, high schools, or middle school student, Hajime Kano, always comes in second place behind a popular student, Emi Sawatari. But when Hajime takes a trip to a new game store he's been hearing about, their rivalry takes an unexpected turn. Welcome to the early days of Magic the Gathering when a trading card game shaped a generation forever. So yeah, we got an MTG thing going on here. So I'm pretty excited for that. That we're gonna have something like this that's coming in as a Magic the Gathering, and it's a game. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. I think it's gonna be pretty funny, and that's supposed to be coming out this fall. So something pretty fun and hilarious. I think is going to be a great kind of nostalgia too for us MTG players, which I played MTG online. If you want to watch those, check out those. But yeah, that's kind of our news today. Nothing too crazy going on. Some cool stuff with Blue Lock coming in for a movie and also coming back for its second season. And because the manga needs to catch up, and the manga is in a good spot right now. It's getting pretty good. If you haven't read it, check it out. It's well worth the read. Amazing detail and artwork. I love it. I have a lot of friends that read it, and they absolutely love it as well. So Going into our anime of the day. This is going to be our first one pickup. It's pretty easy pick. It's a little long of a plot, so I'll kind of catch around with it because we already know about it. One of the biggest gross product in Japan right now. I think they hit like 10 billion in sales for um their movie that they did of Dumpster Fire. If you know what I'm talking about, that is going to be our high Q. I can't even say it right. High QU. There we go. So yeah, it's a volleyball. Interesting, right? It's a volleyball and great character dynamics, great character developments, a lot of cool little comedy quirks in here, a lot of good action. It's got a lot of like personal touches of kind of gravitating towards these characters in here that you just kind of fall in love with everybody. And it's got a lot of just I mean, if you played sports, it's got that nostalgia feel of like going through the underdog and trying to be the best, and then you become the best, and then everybody's starting to notice you. It's honestly, it's a lot of good dynamics and material in here. So I'm gonna go into the plot. It's a little long, so I'm gonna jump into this right now because most of you know what this is. Some of you have heard of it. Some of you haven't watched it. Just because sports animes are kind of hard to dive into because they're kind of I don't know. I wasn't big into them, but there's a very few that I'm going to give you here today that's going to represent some good kind of like just easy go-tos. So, diving in. Junior high school student Shoyo Hinata becomes obsessed with volleyball after catching a glimpse of I think it's Karasuno. Yeah, Karasuno High School or Karasuno. I think that's how you say it. Karasuno. Sorry, breaking things down weird. Karasuno High School playing in the Nationals on TV. Of short stature himself, so Hinata is a very short guy. He's like it's like the Spud Webb of basketball here. But he's inspired by a player nicknamed the Little Giant. I think even Spud Webb was called the Little Giant, not even sure. But Karasuno's short but talented wing spiker. That's what he wants to be. He wants to be a spiker. The shortest guy wants to be the tallest guy out there. It's great. It's already got a good start off. Through his inexperience, Hinata is athletic and has impressive vertical jump. He joins this volleyball club only to find he is the sole member, forcing him to spend the next 2 years trying to convince other students to help him practice. So the poor guy is already going through kind of just a wall here of just being turned down because he's short statured. It's like being in basketball and you want to be the guy that dunks and you don't even look like you can jump a foot and a half. So it's got a lot of cool, good underdog tales here going on, I guess I would say. So in the third and final year of junior high, some of Hinata's friends agree to join the club so he can compete in a tournament. In his first official game ever, they suffer a crushing defeat to the team favored to win the tournament. That including the third year Kageyama or Tobio Kageyama. So this guy later becomes kind of his rival. So a prodigy setter nicknamed the King of the Court for both his skills and his brutal play style. The two spark a short rivalry. There we are. Kind of we jumped ahead, sorry. And after the game, Hinata vows to defeat Kageyama in high school. Well, Hinata studies and is accepted into Karasuno, the same high school the little giant played for, but is shocked to discover Kageyama's there and has also been chosen to go to Karasuno. And yeah, kind of it's pretty funny. So have the reputation of the school being a powerhouse, following the era of the Little Giant, often being referred to the Wingless Crow by other local names. So that's kind of their nickname. However, by combining Kageyama's genius setting skills with Hinata's remarkable athleticism, thus beginning the Karasuno journey of redemption to restore their reputation and make it to nationals. So Karasuno was really big. They had a huge reputation with this like pretty much Miami Heat team with like LeBron James and all this stuff and Dwayne Wade. And then when they left, it kind of just sat in stagnant water. And they're like, okay, we need to bring this back to its former glory days. So yeah, they're the dynamic duo here, right? The Kobe and Shaq going on here. So, we'll see where this goes. But both Hinata and Kageyama aspire to be professional volleyball players and make the promise to one another. After they graduate high school, no matter what, they will both play on the court again. They have a remarkable bond, devote their lives to each other and the sports of volleyball itself. So, I absolutely love this. I started reading the manga when it first came out, and I was drawn. And of course, the show came out right after, and it was one of those shows that was like getting dubbed and subbed. And yeah, it's amazing. I think it's one of Crunchyroll's like prime example shows. So if you haven't watched this, it's on my number one right now. I highly recommend it. It's an amazing show. It's great family friendly. It's hilarious. All ages can love this. And that's what just makes it even better. And I think that's what helps it grow as a sell and also as just an anime itself is that you have all these different dynamics and it just makes it that much better. And it's a Shonen Jump production, so you can't go wrong. So enjoy this show. I highly recommend it. I absolutely love it. It's one of my faves. It is very popular and it's all over the place. If you haven't watched it and haven't gave it a chance, turn it on. The first few episodes, you're going to be drawn. Have fun with it. So, diving into our number two. This one caught me by surprise. I had no idea about it. I've seen things and kind of heard the the back alley rumors about it, and I kind of just dove into it and gave it a shot. The movies are amazing. Everything about it's cool because it's a little different. And I mean, yes, it's a basketball to hint you there for the spoiler I'm about to put in, but everybody's got their own uniqueness here that just kind of makes it weird, but it's great. And the characters are hilarious, and I absolutely love it. And that one going into today is going to be our, let's see where we are. Kuriko's basketball. Yeah, right? Kuriko's basketball. So, yes, it revolves around basketball, but each one of these players have their own, just like what they strive at their best at. And the whole story is pretty good because in Japan, like when you watch basketball, it's a lot more clean. But then you have some of these people in here that are like dunking and doing like side swipes and doing just like breaking ankles and stuff. And you're like, this is a little different. And in Japan, they're all like just loving it. They're like, this is insane. I love this. Instead of just clean, pass and shoot, we have people here doing like some crazy, Timberwolves stuff going on here. So it's pretty cool. So diving into the plot here, going into this, um, it's pretty great. The Tekka, or I think it's Tekio, or no, it's Tekko middle school basketball team dominated basketball sports within Japan, winning the middle school nationals for 3 consecutive years. The star players of the team become known as the Generation of Miracles. So all these main players off each team that are like the MVP pretty much are known as the Generation of Miracles. They're the once in a lifetime of sports that these people strive and come out, and they're just the best of that area on that team, and everybody knows it. So, after graduating from middle school, the five-star player went to a different high school with the top basketball teams. However, there was a rumor there was another player in the Generation of Miracles, a phantom sixth man. Yeah, the sixth man, the clutch player here. This mysterious player is now a freshman at Saren High School, and a new school with powerful, if little known team. Now, Tetsuya Kuroko, the sixth member of the Generation of Miracles, and Tagia, I think it's Kagaya, or it's Kagami, a naturally talented player who spent most of his youth in the US, aimed to be Saren to the top of Japan, pretty much bring them to the top by taking on Kurko's former teammates one by one. The series chronicles of Saren rises to become Japan's number one high school team, the Generation of Miracles, including Ryoto, Shintaro, Daki, Atsushi, and Seijiro. So, pretty much, this guy, Kagami, there we go. I keep wanting to say Kagayami, but it's not. Kagami comes in. He actually comes from the US. He moves over here to Japan. He doesn't really speak English. He's kind of like in between, like with his families that are kind of like they're from the US, but they live in Japan. So it's kind of a different dynamic. He comes over to the US, joins this high school, and then runs into, oh, what's our dude here? Kuriko, sorry, the main dude of the story. Kuriko here. And Kuriko's an oddball. Like, he's a very odd player. He does these weird things with his passes where he's just straight boom hits. And it looks like he's just fist punching a ball, but it does these crazy moves and it becomes like a pass. Then some of these people are like, is this even legal? But it's totally legal the way he plays. And what's even more interesting is that these two dynamics are kind of like what we talked about with Haikyu here, with Kageyama and Hinata just being the dynamic duo. Well, the cool thing is that the whole team starts developing because this high school just kind of starts rising up in ranks. They start going against these other schools that are just heavily known for their star players, and their main part of the whole story is the generation of miracles. So you have like your MVP here, and he's the main dude of the school, and they're going up against it, but they're taking him down one by one. And Kuroko used to play in kind of like a almost like an Ivy League kind of thing when they were kids, or like a kinda like LeBron James did, like, played for that, private kinda school basketball to where it was a set group, but they were like the Fab Five, kinda one of those things. So, craziness is that Kuriko's like, "This is what he's good at, this is how we take him down." Well, they start kinda coming into different walls and, it's not all just wins, but there is losses in here, so there is some tragedy. It's not all just about, "Oh, they won, and now we're going into a loss," like, or we're going into just straight wins. Like, it mixes it up well enough to where it keeps you entertained, and the characters are pretty hilarious, and, Kagami is just like a beast, like, power forward that just goes out there and dunks, and yeah, they all work well together, and they call him the Phantom Six Man Kuriko here is because this guy is like literally invisible in the court. They don't even notice him, and then he just gets down there and makes points, and they're like, "I didn't even know that guy was on the court." So the movies are great. I enjoy them. I think they're like just awesome. There's one movie that kind of shows here that we're looking at with all the five characters, that's showing like all the Generation of Miracles, sorry. Showing all them, and the cool thing is that in one of the movies, they actually all get together and they're playing against a US team, and yeah, it's a pretty tense little match, so check out the movies, watch the show. It's a lot of fun. It's got a lot of cool, like the action, of course, is sports, but it's a lot of like just moments where you're kinda like getting pumped up, like watching a real game, and you're kinda supporting your team here, so I think you guys will like it. Yeah, it's basketball. It's a little different aspect here. We've had a lot of volleyball ones come out. And yeah, so enjoy it, watch it. I think it's great. So we're going to move on to our next one here. And I honestly, I had no idea about this. It kept popping in my feed. I wasn't too like big into it. And I'm not even a big fan of the sport, but watching it and the characters made me love it, and I was kinda took by surprise. So, going into our next one here without spoiling what I'm about to reveal, it is a new anime. This is one of the ones I mentioned earlier that we do have a new anime that we're gonna be going over today. I think it's only been out for a few weeks. It's a very interesting plot. The characters are great. It's all kind of quirky comedy, but everybody knows them. Kinda like the Generation of Miracles. It's like they're kinda staying under the radar though, because 'cause they're at a public school instead of a private school academy for, like, their abilities, but, diving into our next one here is Oblivion Battery. So, yeah, it's a baseball, right? Different. I wouldn't take myself as a baseball person. I have no interest in baseball, but I gave it a shot because that's just who I am. I like to try the food before I start saying it tastes bad. So, Oblivion Battery, the baseball manga follows Haruka, a strong pitcher praised as like the perfect pitcher in pretty much school time, and Kia, a skilled catcher known as the General, who has a lost memory due to amnesia. Kind of skipped ahead of there. So interesting. I kind of missed this when I was watching it, so it kind of caught me off surprise reading the plot. Yeah, the catcher has amnesia because when he gets onto the field and catches this dude's like pitches, it's like, I mean, the guy looks like he throws a 95 mile per hour ball here, and he just catches them like they're nothing. But nobody can catch them, and they're terrified of it because it's like a freaking bullet coming at you. And if you ever played baseball and you got a guy that can pitch crazy well, even though you trust him to throw it down the middle and you're going to catch it, still makes you paranoid. The fact that like, well, if I mess up, I'm probably not going to get up for a minute. So, but the talented pair were hard to defeat in junior high, and they crushed other players' dreams. So yeah, they're kind of some dream smashers here. They both enrolled in the no-name Kodasashi High School, or is it yeah, Kodasashi High School in Tokyo, where they encounter other baseball players who had quit after losing to Haruka and Kie. So yeah, later on they kind of come across a couple other players that are very, very talented players. And them two, the dynamic duo here, pretty much just mercifully defeat them. And what makes it funny about it is that they're in a no-name school. Like they're pretty much playing for like a community school kind of style, a public community school, instead of going to like an Ivy League or like a freaking heritage school or just some private academy here that's like, yeah, we draft the best, we have the best. Like, no, well, the best is over here at some school no one's heard of. And later on, they come across a couple other players that are just kind of like, I don't even want to get a part of this anymore because they're just too good and like but they all kind of find that middle ground with each other and start kind of working together and they're starting to build a team. They're like, guys, if we build a team, we're going to be unstoppable. And the guy with amnesia here, Kie, he's just a goofball and hilarious and you just absolutely love him. That's what made me fall in love with it is because our main dude here, this the star pitcher, Haruka, he's like just kind of very monotone, but he's very competitive and he's quiet. So like when he gets in his competitive mode, he's just kind of like very pushy and not letting things slide. But I was really surprised with this anime, guys. Like I honestly it caught me by surprise because like I said, I don't really watch baseball stuff. And honestly, this kind of gravitated me with the characters. The artwork's great. The whole explanation of what's going on is very clear. The other characters that get brought in aren't just really background characters, they're just as good. And then you have, of course, an underdog tale. Who doesn't like an underdog tale? But the thing is like the school's the underdog. The players here are not. They just kind of made a weird move, and then when other teams try to practice against them, they don't really understand because they're in a prestigious school, and the coaches know, they scout everybody. They know everybody around, and they see this team, and they're like, "Oh my god, why are we practicing them? Let's just go home because we're about to get humiliated, and it's going to kill our team's morale, and we're probably not going to win a game this season because of this loss we're about to take." So yeah, I think it's hilarious. It's great. Check it out. Enjoy it. But yeah, that's our third and final anime recommendation of the day. So the three that we went over today um, was our volleyball with Hinata and Kageyama, a big Shonen Jump here that's like super huge. Oops, didn't mean to bump that. That's like super huge, and that is Haikyuu. And then we have Kuroko's No Basketball for our basketball pick as a number 2 spot. Great show. I enjoy the movies so much. Like, oh my god, I can't even get enough of that. It's like watching Bleach and then you go watch the movies and you're like, wow, like it's a big step up. Kind of like Inuyasha, but of course these movies don't interplay with their arc, so it's kind of like, but they're great. And then our third one was the one we just went over, Oblivion Battery. So yeah, great sports, great selections. Pick one of the three you want, or watch all three, whatever you choose. But today we're going to be diving into our manga of the week. Yes, this one is a new one, brand new, only 2 books out. I picked them up. I was kind of looking around. It caught my eye with the title. I read the plot. It's hilarious. It's great. If you read Sakamoto Days, it's got that action feel with the smash and grab and change of artwork here. And yeah, like I was pretty blown away with it. And it's so just it's got a humorous plot, but it takes a serious note into like what's going on. So diving into our manga of the day here, guys, and that is Marriage Toxin. Marriage Toxin, man, yeah, I'm telling you, yeah, the artwork looks the cover looks as it is in the book itself. It's got a lot of weird twists. It's got mystery. It's got great action, great comedy. Um, Everything is in here. It's the whole package, guys. Like it's great. It's an awesome manga if you want to get into something new without having to dive into those volumes that are like 15, 20 volumes deep. Like right now, I'm picking up Miss Nagatoro. I love the show, and I kind of paused from it because I really want to read it. And there's like 18 books, and like I have 9 of them. So yeah, 9 volumes. So let's dive into our plot here. Let's not sidetrack that. Let's talk about marriage toxin, guys. So Hikaru Giro, so he goes by Giro, is a young man from the Poison Clan, a professional assassin. So yeah, it deals with assassins. He's a Poison Clan assassin. So yeah, I tell you there, it's already kind of getting good, which has been in existence for hundreds of years. Because he deals in the dark side of society and has never lived a normal life, he considers himself to have no prospect with women and no interest in getting married at all either. So why not? I mean, not dealing with this, why deal with that? So, however, one day the Poison Clan states that if Giro does not marry and produce an heir, carry on their lineages or carry on their lineage, they will force his sister into bearing a child against her wishes. So, wanting to save his younger sister from such a fate, Giro asks one of his assassin targets to marry him. So, I'll get into that. I won't spoil too much because it's pretty funny. It's a situational comedy there. When the cross-dressing marriage swindler Mei Kinosaki declines, Hiro instead has Kinosaki train him to date and how to appeal to women with the goal of finding someone he truly wants to marry. So think of it like this, guys. You're getting a little bit of a slice of life, kind of, and you're getting comedy, you're getting action, and it's everything about this is just, my God, I'm so glad I found this. I highly recommend this as like one of my favorite animes right, or not animes, mangas right now. I hope they do an adaptation because it's a gold mine. I hope they give it more time though on the book or the volume of the books and the mangas so that they can just get people to appreciate it first before jumping into a show and then it just kind of kills out from the audience because the manga is great. I've read the first one, I have the second one. I have not read the second one. Maybe I'll do that today. But I'm taking my time with my mangas and kind of catching up on other ones I have. If I didn't have my removal here on my background, you would see a bookshelf probably with like 15 different series. Be like, holy cow. It's like, yep, it's staying there, it's not moving. So, but anyway, diving into kind of the outer realm of what's going on here, kind of looking at the outside in. So in Marriage Toxin, our guy Giro is on an assignment. He's going to pretty much finish off this assassination target that turns out to be Kinosaki. And it's kind of interesting. It's like it looks like they're at a Vegas hotel, and all these people are sitting behind a glass window, kind of watching what's going on and want to see his like pretty much watch a show here of this famous assassin and what he does. So he gets a call from his sister. She's like saying, well, the family has decided to make me have to be the next like person to get married to have the next heir. Well, the twist here is that they don't mention, which is a little spoiler, but you're going to learn it in the first 10 pages of the book, is that she actually has a girlfriend. So she doesn't even like date guys. And she's in love with her girlfriend. And it makes Giro even more like upset because he's like, dude, I'm being selfish, but I really, really, really do not want to do this. And he has no interest in it, but he loves his sister. And he's like, I got to figure out a way to do it, like fix this. So as soon as he's about to assassinate this girl, which he just straight up injects her with some like morphine drug, makes her like hallucinate and pretty much like where she's just going to be at the point of like hitting pain and death, like some Saw movie here. Pretty much makes her an offer, says, marry me and I'll let you live. And she's like, no. And the girl is a con artist, like a straight up con artist. But, they say cross dressing, but there's a mystery twist to that. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not, because in the back of the manga, it says there's a dark secret with this girl. But she pretty much goes on this con artist, he or she, whatever, we don't know yet, goes on this con artist thing of trying to save her brother that's dying in a hospital. So she goes on these odd jobs and takes on whatever she can to make money. So she declines his offer. He's shocked. He's standing there like, you're about to die and you're going to turn me down. And she's like, I'd rather die than just be another used piece of tool. So it's like, oh, well, at least you have dignity and, being a con artist. So Giro then makes another offer. Well, then teach me how to actually talk to women and meet them. So you get that little slice of life. So she takes the offer, saves her life, moves on into the next chapter of the story here of just going on dating apps. The guy is crazy, just super awkward, super awkward. has the weirdest facial expressions. But then he tries to figure out, like, okay, well, maybe trying to go this route isn't going to work. It maybe I can play the hero and then have one fall in love with me instead of me doing all the work. So it's got a lot of different like back and forths of this whole like finding a relationship thing. But the funny part is that makes it a lot of like entertainment is that he's just helpless. Like he's so helpless. And the Kinosaki is just trying her best to help, but you kind of see something build between them, but you don't know if it's going to go from there. So, yeah. I mean, I'm only on book one, guys, so I can't give out a lot of information without spoiling too much here. But if you want something a little bit of slice of life, you want some comedy, you want some amazing action, the artwork is great, and the characters are hilarious, and they get them in just in goofy situations. I'm telling you, Marriage Toxin is the one right now. Marriage Toxin is probably going to be one of the big or big mangas going on right now. So if you see it at your bookstore, go ahead and grab it because it's probably going to start selling out here soon because it's going to blow up here really quick. It's one of those hidden ones like Blue Lock that just kind of like a dime a dozen of sports kind of things, and then it just blew up out of the water. And now it's like you can't even get half the stuff half the time in the correct order. So, but yeah, that's gonna be our manga of the week is Marriage Toxin. So you guys check it out, read it. It's only 2 books in, so you got nothing to lose. You can pick up 2 books, go bring it back if you want. Go order on Amazon, send it back, whatever you wanna do. But I'm telling you, read this, it's great. I think it's a Viz Media, and you can go online and read it through if you have a Viz account and do it that way, or you might have an app on your phone. Most Androids have an app that you can go and read that kinda stuff and have unlimited sources. So, but either way, I appreciate you guys coming in today. I appreciate all the love. Like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this kind of content. All of any kind of support is great, but I appreciate you guys. And yeah, stay tuned for next week for our next episode. Have a great rest of your day. Happy Mondays and take care.